So, if I'm right, we are online right now.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna double check it. Yeah. And so, hello everyone. It's a great pleasure to have you all tonight, because it's already almost tonight here at St. Petersburg and almost tonight at Hamburg, where Lars is. And let me briefly introduce everybody here. So I'm Roman, and I'm CEO and founder at KeenTools. Piotr is quality assurance engineer at KeenTools, and sometimes when you ask us some tricky questions in support, most likely Piotr is behind all the answers to them. And I'm happy to introduce Lars. Lars
Hey guys.
is our long-time supporter. He was asking and using first versions of our tools in time when they were published on Nukepedia. And it was like probably 4 years ago or something, and asked a lot of very important questions and have several feature requests that we later implemented. So actually, Lars had a great influence on our tools. And today I'm happy to have him on our live stream series.
Thank you, Roman. Such an honor to be here, and thanks for having me, guys. And yeah, I mean, sorry, your tools are just very unique, and I use them because I know they're the best tools for object tracking and for face tracking. And yeah, it's really an honor to be here with you guys and see what you got cooking.
Yeah, so today we're gonna talk about something really new that was introduced in the last release, and it's a toolset of our Blendshapes nodes. And here I'm gonna give a stage to Peter, and he will present everything today, and I will ask questions that you guys asked in YouTube chat. So don't hesitate to ask questions, because it's always more live and more vivid show when we have some feedback from you. And also, please join our Discord channel, because if you have any questions between streams and at any time, you can always ask questions here or directly by email. And yeah, let's start. Piotr?
Yeah, hello everyone. Hello guys. The question is what we are going to talk about today. We had a few streams before. Here's the table with that streams. And today we have a stream about blend shapes. So what are blend shapes? The easiest answer to this question is that blend shapes is a different geometries with the same topology. The question is, what is the same topology? How to determine that two objects has the same topology? Well, the answer is pretty easy. They have the same wireframe and the point order. So let's dive deep into Nuke and realize how does it work. So here I have example. Here I have example of the blend shapes. This is a cube, yeah, and this is a sphere. And what is remarkable about them? They have the same topology. To determine it, to inspect it, you can press S on the keyboard and enable point ordering here, and be sure that this is a point number 2. You may see it and this is the point number 11, and here on the sphere we have the same point, like 2 and 11. So this is two meshes that basically kind of the same in terms of topology, but different in terms of shapes. So what we can do? Well, we can make the blend shapes, so we can morph these geometries one into another. And well, we prepare 3 cool nodes for you, but now we will look only on the 2 of them. The first one called join blend shape. Join blend shapes node. Yeah, here we have join blend shapes node. It has the base input, so you can choose the model, which is main, and insert into base input, and then use additional inputs to add the geometries with the same topology but different shapes. Now here you can see only the cube, but this node connects these two geometries into one piece. So inside this node there's information about the sphere shape of this cube. So now you can add the another one node called mix blend shape, and here you see the slider. You can slide it and morph two geometries. That's how it is. And what's really cool is that now you see the normals problem here. It's kind of cube in terms of normals, but it's a sphere in terms of shape. But you can add the normals node and rebuild them easily. Yeah, so now it's that's kind of the right shape. So what else? For example, you can have plane, and also not only plane. I will disable these points. It's too heavy. Okay, so you have a plane, and for example, I generate 2 sequences of the same plane, but distorted with displacement node here in Nuke. That's pre-recorded sequences because it's kind of heavy process, but you can look on it. Here we have the high frequency plane, and here we have the low frequency plane. And we can mix them, even if they are animations. So join blend shapes, mix blend shapes, and choose the original plane as the main object. The first blend shape is high frequency, and the last blend shape is the low frequency. And look at this, you can now manipulate with this animation. Just press play and just add one frequency and another on the go. But you couldn't see here it because of the normals, so you have to rebuild them again after, just to look on this properly. Here we have the plane animation, and we can add the low frequency here and the high frequency. That's kind of ocean, procedural ocean in Nuke. So you can use it, for example, you can render it at the ocean plate for some shots. Well, not really close shots, but I think all the other cases you can use it.
Am I right that you basically generated this geometries right in Nuke and then baked them in opt files and opt sequence just to speed up everything?
Yeah, I used only 2 nodes. I used displacement node and the noise node, and just displayed the geometry. I mean, I can do it here. Displays geo node and the noise. So yeah, this is this is pretty easy. Here you can just increase the influence, and here we have the noise, which influence on the geometry right through this node. Yeah. So that looks nice.
Got it. Got it.
What else?
Yeah, that's really cool.
That's really,
I really
cool.
like it.
And as far as understood, we basically can take any geometry. So I mean, like we can mix animated with no animated, like to make some
Yes.
kind of transform or something. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Good.
Okay. For example, you can use anything made just inside of Nuke. I mean, that was the pre-rendered geometries here, like pre-cached. But you can use geometries like defaults, primitives. For example, take a sphere, use edit geo to add some extra deformations here. For example, like this, and edit geo. Op. Here we have 2 spikes, and then use transform, for example, just to squeeze it or squish. I don't know how to name this geometry, but yeah. So this is the same geometry in terms of topology, because they have the same point ordering and the same wireframe. And now you can join them and mix. So when you create the mix Blendshape node, it's empty because we're not connected to the join Blendshape pipe. But when you connect it, their sliders appears, so you can change the sliders and change the geometry right inside of Nuke. I mean, it could be even really useful in cleanup scenes. For example, with some deformable objects that are pretty easy. For example, deforming of a sphere or tube, and that's you can animate here just inside of Nuke. You don't have to use the side packages for 3D. Yeah, but I have a few questions.
So I have sorry to interrupt you. I have several questions and one question to Lars. And basically, what kind of applications to this tool set you see right now? Like what is most obvious?
I could. I mean, normally when you are working on a job and you need to solve a problem, you're thinking, oh wow, it would be cool if I had a tool that would do exactly what I need to solve the problem. But there's so many applications for this. I mean, usually we are used to getting all of our animation and rendered blend shapes or animated stuff from Maya, of course. This whole thing about getting more of the 3D work into Nuke is, yeah, that's really, really cool. It's basically bringing also with the with the new feature of 13.1 with the combination of Nuke and Unreal, it's bringing it to another level. But to answer your question, one thing, Dankeschön. Sorry. One thing, tschüss. One thing that I could imagine it being useful for is, like, for example, if you would use the face tracker, and you would want to maybe combine some animations, or you would want to, I don't know, make the person that you've tracked say something that he or she might not have said in that order, and then you can, with the blend shapes, you could basically mix that stuff. I don't know, it's difficult to say right now, but I'm sure there will be a lot of cases where this will come in really handy. And yeah, so it's no easy answer for me now, because I'm sure after the stream I'll have a lot more cases where I say, hey, wait a minute, we could also use it for such and such.
We will try. Peter, a question for you by Mohit. So what if and how it will behave if we have two separate geometries, but not with the same topology.
Oh, wow, it would be really crazy.
It would explode.
Well, yeah, it will explode, but the problem here is that it's difficult to replicate it. Because if we have the different topology in terms of amount of points, there will be error. Like we have a sphere, for example, and cube, and I hope there will be error. Yeah. Here we have the error about the same number, yeah, about number of points in the models. But I had the examples. I mean, I don't have example now, but I had examples in my practice where I had the same geometry but with the different point numbering that here, and that's absolutely crazy. Like each polygon moves to the random place, each polygon, so the model becomes really crazy, like star. It explodes. Yeah. So that could be really cool, but difficult to manage. Yeah.
So answering Mahit's question, yeah, that should be the same topology, and if you have like you're asking two separate characters with different topologies, then it basically means that you have to take one of these topologies and retopologize the other creature to the same topology. So that's the main principle behind Blendshapes.
Yeah, you have to wrap the model, one model on the another. Yeah, so now we looked only on the primitives. Let's take a closer look on the more complex shots. Here I have example called doll animation. That means that we have foxes here. This is a masks. These are rigid masks. They have only mouths to open and eyes blinking, so that's rigid geometry. And what I have...
I want to say that it's not 3D. They were real.
Yeah, that's absolutely
some kind
real.
Of animatronics or something like this. So, yeah.
Yeah, and for example, we have the geometry of this fox head. Here it is. What we can do? Well, as you all have to know about GeoTracker, you can track this geometry easily. So let's try to do this. And the question is what we can do with the tracked geometry if we have the blend shapes. I mean, if we create the variations of this head with a different, for example, different expressions, what we can do, I mean, how we can use this in our pipeline. Yeah, just a minute. It tracks amazingly fast here. I'm shocked every time when I press track with this geometry. Yeah, looks nice. So, okay, I have fox head, and I have a few blend shapes here with a smile, with eyebrow, with ear, and with the symmetry, yeah, with the eyebrow on the other side and the ear on the other side. So as you know, we can join this in the join blend shapes. No problem. Just I try to use the Y key like this. Here it is. Well, not right order. Okay, doesn't matter. I will plug it manually. Yeah, so here we have now in our pipe, we have fox head, which contains the blend shape information here. And in join blend shapes, you can name this blend shapes properly. I mean, they have blend shape 1, blend shape 2 name, but you can name, for example, first one smile. And you can enter it in the pipe. And now you have kind of tracking of the model, which contains inside the informations about the blend shape. Then I use the UV projection be careful with the camera. You have to have the right aspect, camera aspect. I mean, the height and the horizontal and the vertical aperture have to be the same aspect as the picture to work properly. And then we use apply material on that model. Let's take a closer look here. Yeah, we have a fox. We have fox. So now we can add the mix blend shape right here and change this fox. I mean, we can influence on it right here in the pipe. We have tracking, and we also can, in each keyframe, we can also animate it. They add expressions and so on. For example, the first one, smile, we can just animate the doll. For example, in all cases where you have dolls in the movie, you can add some expressions to it to kind of add life into dolls. I think it's really useful.
I've actually known several such films where the same pipeline was used, like, for instance, Chucky, all films about Chucky, and also
also Deadpool. Yeah, as I know,
Deadpool,
the Deadpool.
it was filmed with like neutral expression, and then expressions were added later in compositing. And I already seen such kind of a demo by Beta Digital, and they showed how they have something similar for Nuke, like Blendshapes. But I can't remember whether they did it in Nuke or not.
In Nuke, yeah, but they use the other packages too, and some different passes there. But they have their own node with the blend shapes. I mean, as I know, inside their component. So and we can render it. And now we have a render animation of that head with our emotions, expressions. Yeah, but the problem here, of course, is that we have kind of creepy eyes and so on. So you have to spend like a little bit more time to create a better script. I've done one with a clean plate and with a few additional compositing things, such as preparing eyes, the normal one from the original. And here we have a plate. I will show it full screen. Here we have a plate with a fox, and we add some emotions there. And as you can see, the fox has some eyebrow movement or some smile movement here. That looks nice. What do you think, Lars? Is it useful?
I think it looks really nice. You gotta be careful though with deforming the texture too much so that it doesn't look weird.
Yeah.
But I can really imagine this being used in a lot of projection work where you have some deforming stuff. And you could do a lot of things with it. Is this? I have a question actually. Will this be a separate tool, or will this be combined, or is this something that we'll talk about later?
You mean how to get these nodes?
Yeah, the function, this new feature.
Well, this new feature
combined?
is already in the previous release, and you can download it from our website, from KeenTools.io, and use all of these nodes. I mean,
so they are all included. They are all included in installation bundle, but currently they are in beta. So most likely they will be free in future, just like several supplementary tools we already have. So, for instance, spin tool or texture builder. Or read Geo for reading skeleton FBX with skeletons inside Nuke. So they most likely will be supplementary nodes if we won't introduce something extremely complex inside them. But it seems it's not the case here. By the way, I want to I just remembered that today is Friday, and it's not just a simple Friday, it's a Black Friday, and we have a really nice Black Friday discount for all our personal users, and it's 50% off. So if you're looking this stream right now, stop doing it and go to our website. And to get this discount, you have to apply coupon code, which I'm gonna write right now in YouTube chat. So yeah, sorry.
Will the deal only be available for today or the whole weekend?
Not only for today, but until Monday. It's
cool.
valid until Monday. Yeah.
Awesome.
So including Monday, like Cyber Monday or how it's called. So yeah. So it was a minute of advertisement, Piotr.
Yeah, that's right. That's a minute of advertisement, but I want to continue with the more complex examples. And as Lars said, we may want to change the expressions of human face, not only the fox face, and that's pretty difficult case. Because human face is really remarkable for our eyes. I mean, you are really patient when you look on the face, so it's very important to change face correctly, not to make it weird. I mean, not to make it creepy. And here we have the face. Look here, we have a video. So of course we can easily build a head here just over the video without any extra photos here, and then track it with a face tracker. And then of course project the UV projection and material apply. And what else? Well, how to create the blend shapes for face. I mean, how to create them manually. It's really difficult task, and maybe you just want to slightly change the face, like add some small amount of expressions, like add the smile, for example, slight smile, but change the mimics. So there is a thing called FACS, Facial Action Coding System. I think Roman can disclose this topic more deeply, but that's something about this system.
I like where this is going.
Yeah, that's going right way. And Roman, could you say about ArcKit or where they use it? I mean, about this system.
It was invented. I'd say that it was invented really quite long time ago, probably even 20 years ago or something. And yeah, it's a kind of a set of blend shapes, like base blend shapes, to express facial deformation and facial expressions. But I can't say that it's like perfect system. First of all, it's a linear system, and the other thing, it's not very, it doesn't allow some complex deformations, but at the same time, currently it's kind of a standard de facto because it was used in ArcKit in iPhones and iPads and so on. And if, for example, you like, well, at least we don't have another system. Currently, we have only FACS, so it's kind of a standard, and probably later we can introduce something more sophisticated. But yeah, currently it's FACS, and it's pretty nice system in terms of it covers all main expressions that you have in real life.
Yeah, you kind of closer to what I want to say. I want to say that we want to present you a new node called FX node, and this node can generate some blend shapes for our head topology. Here in pipe we have this head, and we can add the effects node, and this node has no properties inside, but it generates the effects inside and adds about 52, as I remember, blend shapes just in pipe. So you can easily enter the mix blend shape after that, and look here what we have. We have here all these blend shapes in mix blend shape, and we can slightly change it. For example, here I can add some smile. I mean, here I have some strange settings. I will change it to empty mix blend shape. The new glitches a little bit. Here the original face, and we can find here the smile, for example. Smile right. Here we have smile right, smile left, and so on. So we can kind of influence to our model. And as you remember, we have a tracking, so we influence on the whole tracking. I mean, mixing the lip sync that we tracked before with the new blend shapes. And of course, we can render it and kind of compose it here, just in 2D. We can look on the effects node, and for example, I mean, yeah, you can spend more time and find some cool things how to adjust this model. I mean, I will just change it dramatically. Yeah, and also, as you know, the blend shapes, as you may know, the blend shapes has these sliders, but these sliders are arranged from 0 to 1, but actually they work more than from 0 to 1. For example, we can take the tube. I think tube or cylinder here. I don't know how it's called. Here, cylinder. Yeah, cylinder. We can take the cylinder to show it, and for example, create a blend shape with transform geo node. Just for example, add the length to the tube. Like we have the two tubes with the same topology, this one and this one, and we can join and mix them. We can join and mix them, and now we've got this. But of course, this is math. You can add, for example, 2 or 3 or 5. I mean, the blend shapes, it's kind of vectors between the first geometry and the second geometry. So you can apply it twice or more. I mean, as much as you want, and sometimes it's unnecessary, but sometimes it's you could achieve really cool, cool view.
What if I rotate one of the cylinders?
Oh, it goes crazy, I think. That's not that axis.
Not around this axis, yeah,
like this one. Yeah, or this one, no problem. I mean,
yeah, that just for fun.
Just for fun, but yeah, we can, and apply it -3 times. So that's math. I mean, you can achieve any result, not only provided from logic. So here we have a face, but what we can do else? For example, I have the more complex scene that I want to show you. Here we have it. Here we have the same plate and the same head model here in 3D space. But also, I have the Shrek face. What's really cool, they have the same topology. I spent a few time to morph one geometry to another, but that's not really difficult case. I mean, there is lots of different software there in the internet to change the one geometry to another with the same topology. So here the face with the same topology, and what I can do, of course, I can join it, and now my face has information about Shrek shape just inside the pipe, so I can track it. Here, I can track it, and then, well, this is some magic, but it's not really difficult. This is a projection on the model. So now I have this particular model with the texture on it, tracked model with the texture, and then I use a scanline render in UV mode to create the UV map here. So now I can easily manipulate with this UV map and then apply it back to this model. And after that, I can add the blend shapes. And I can mix this face from one to another really easy here in Nuke. So this is the case where you can, for example, make some creatures and create some transitions right in Nuke.
Yeah, I got a few questions, but I'll wait until the Q&A section of the stream.
Okay. So that's kind of Q&A section.
Actually, Q&A section is right now. I like.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I don't wanna interrupt your demo. So basically.
No, that's the time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I remember asking Roman that question quite some time ago. But what would really bring this to another level would be, and that's in general for the geo tracker. I mean, it works for the geo tracker, but for the face tracker, the possibility to bring in custom geometry, like that would be is that something that you still are looking at, or is that?
Yeah, that's basically the idea behind Blendshapes. The thing why we introduced Blendshapes was it's some intermediate step to bring custom Blendshapes to face tracker, custom facial scans. So, and it's definitely gonna be the next step for them. So now we have some basic tool set for working with it, and and later we can like bringing several blend shapes, like several scans of one face in same topology prepared specifically for tracking, and then you can load them and track in face tracker. That's the idea.
So basically, if you could, I'm asking this because basically, if you could do what we are seeing here with the Shrek transformation, with a custom geometry, you could basically have an actor or a facial, someone do act out the facial animation of a certain character, with your custom geometry, and then just use Nuke and your tool to transport that.
You can already do it. And
but
probably,
not with a custom. Sorry.
Petya can show how to do it using export to Fox.
Yeah. So if you can describe the.
By the way, let's. Could you show this script probably first? Because it was amazing.
Okay.
With Shrek.
Okay, I can show the script. I mean, this is a little bit more complicated script, but still easy. The idea behind this script is that we have the head here in this 3D, and we add, for example, the Shrek head, which is the model with the same topology. And for example, I add the fax node here, just generate inside this head extra lot of extra blend shapes, and then use the mix blend shape to generate the smile. For example, I can generate smile here. Just root smile, I mean the 1 and 1 here. Of course, you can put the keyframes, like in Fox example, where you can animate using keyframes. So now I have the head, the Shrek head, and the smiley head. Here we have the head, the smiley head, and the Shrek head. And what we can do, we can easily manipulate it.
It seems that nobody can see your screen right now.
Oh, sorry, yeah, sorry. Okay, I will try to do it again.
And you have to explain everything from the beginning.
No problem. I'm still here. So that's that's the case. We have this plate. We have this face builder where we generate this face, and then I use the Fox node to generate inside this CAD the lots of different blend shapes and mix it. For the smile, I found the 2 sliders for smile and raise it up to value 1. So now I have the smiley head, the original head, and the Shrek head with the same topology which I made before in the other package. So now I can mix all of them, but first of course track the original face and then use the projection technique. So here I have the UV map of my face as I showed previously. Here I have UV map. And here I have the Shrek face texture. And I have some animation here with the masks to insert the UV for eyes and mouth inside these texture. And then apply this back. So now I have this animated texture on Shrek. And I still can manipulate, well, then just merge and some grades here. And then you apply it back here. And you can, up in the pipe, here you can manipulate. For example, you can change the values of the smile. You could not change the values of the smile because smile is off. Yeah, now you can. So this is a smile, we turn on the smile, and then we can, for example, manipulate the smiles, the terms of what is smile. Just add a few other parameters here. For example, for eyes, well, eyebrows, brows down, brows up. It doesn't work. Okay.
I think it doesn't. It obviously doesn't react the same way because since you have deformed the original head so much that it's just not giving you the same effect.
This is well, I deformed it, but this is still our topology, so it have to work. I think it have to work. Well, smile works perfectly. I mean, like, yeah, it works. So I tried to find the brows, but here we have so much parameters. Yeah, but we still can manipulate them, but that's not easy to find them. But that here's lots of them. So yeah, that's the case how it works. You can manipulate the model and the texture simultaneously and get the cool result in the end.
Really cool. Very nice feature.
And what Roman said about the exporting animation and applying to the different geometries, yeah, I have this case here in fax expression case. So, for example, here we have tracking of this face. And the tracking of this face means that we have lots of different expression cases in each key. In each frame, we have the special special amount of parameters of FX model, and we can export it right here. I mean, you can press the results tab in the face tracker and then change it to FX as CSV file. That's for Blender or other packages. For example, you can bake this tracking, this expression tracking, only expressions, into CSV file and load in the Blender, in the face builder there, and kind of apply the expression animation there. Or you can export it right here inside Nuke into the Fox and Mix Blendshapes node. You kind of code. That process takes some time because we have to bake lots of keys here. But finally, what we've got the FX node, which generates on the original face, which generates the FXs. And then we have the Mix Blendshapes node that's animated the same way as tracking. So now we have kind of tracking of our expressions.
But that's still with the same geometry, right? So
yeah.
Where does the point come in where you
because now we can change the geometry.
Different topology? Yeah, okay, but it's still the same topology.
Yeah.
So it's okay.
The question was about different topologies.
Yeah.
Yeah, actually, you can do it for different topologies as well. Like the thing is that you have the same amount of blend shapes prepared. Like you have Fox blend shapes prepared. So if you load some custom geometry, really custom, like custom creature, like
Shrek,
face head of tiger or something, and load it with blend shapes prepared for this topology, blend shapes like these Fox blend shapes. Then you can animate these Fox blend shapes using export from face tracker and apply the same coefficients to another set of blend shapes.
So yeah, you can see here what Roman said, that what we have the face builder, which generates the main geometry, like the main topology, and we have the FX node, which generates the blend shapes with the same topology. So these two nodes are working like 53 nodes of different blend shapes of the different face. So if you make this amount of blend shapes for any creature, then you can use the Mix Blend Shape node, this one from the export, and kind of animate it according the tracking. So you will get the same result, but with your own blend shapes. Yeah, but you have to do like lots of work here. But that's what you can.
I've tried to do it once, like back in 2011, or not. I tried to. I did it, but I didn't like have all that list. I just did it on my own, and was the first short film I did with an animated face, and that was a lot of work with ZBrush. But yeah, I'm really liking this system.
You again failed with screen layout.
Yeah, I made these screen layouts, and that's really cool that we can now take a conversation on the huge screen, but I always forget to change this layout back.
Sorry, folks. So you can explain it probably briefly again.
But yeah, I already explained this. I mean, that's easy to understand. I think that we have the face builder here and the face and the FX node, and they both generate the some kind of some amount of blend shapes here, the blend shapes of this face, and then we use the Mix Blend Shape node, which I showed before, with the keys from the tracking. So now we can apply this to our heads and get the result. This is result the same as in our tracking. but without movement, of course, only expressions. Movement you can export with kind of transform GeoNode, I think.
So you could basically transfer the facial animation from one tracked person to another.
Yeah, for example, for lip sync, you can take the speech from one person and put it in the lips of the other one.
Kind of an alternative, kind of an alternative to what's happening right now in the AI field, where faces are being calculated, and so you have a model that is being trained, and then but this is really cool.
It's not only I can't say that it's an alternative. It could be actually an addition. They play well together. You can, for instance, make some rough adjustments with the face builder and then tweak it with some neural network or vice versa and so on. They could be combined. By the way, we have several questions from the chat, and the first one is...
Sorry, I want to interrupt. I want to say about the previous question, about how to use lots of different geometries that's prepared by yourself, and then you will use it somewhere else. For example, we had the one of the previous demo videos with a fox head. Maybe you saw it. Yeah, here, this one. Did you see it? This is a fox head, which has the same blend shapes. I mean, a few blend shapes from the here. This is a blend shape. They named the same as the facts. This kind of facts for this creature. And now, as you can see, we apply the animation, the expression animation, on this creature using the tracking. So the man said something, we tracked it, and then applied to the creature. So that's exactly what you said before.
Oh, interesting. Really interesting.
That's kind
I'm gonna take a look at that.
Lip sync. So questions?
I've already forgotten that we have a working example of how to do it. So it
would be really, sorry, one thing I wanted to add here, it would be really interesting to see a video of that workflow that you just showed me with Blender, and like how that works, to get from the tracking / recording of your facial animation in your plates to transferring that to your own model. Of course, you would have to, for your model, do all the shapes yourself or model them. But yeah, I mean, that's really awesome that you could still transfer the reference animation or
for this, just
acting.
use this knob here in the export tab in the face tracker. You can click the effects as CSV file export, and then when you use the Blender, you can import this CSV file on the face, and then kind of connect this face, our face builder, with your creature, with your blend shapes.
But not on the Blender, actually.
I mean, any other software, yeah.
Yeah.
Does that CSV file come with like blend shape information per frame, or how does that work?
No, the CSV file is the same as the mixed blend shape node. So it's per frame the amount of each blend shapes from facts.
Yeah, all coefficients per frame.
Like the keyframes from this node.
Yeah, exactly. That was what because I haven't. Okay. So I'm not so much into this whole theme of using facts and how. I mean, I've heard of the term, and yeah, but that's now I kind of now it's kind of clicking. Now I kind of understand where this is going and how.
Yeah, actually, that's the purpose for which Fox was introduced. Like it's facial action coding system. So it's kind of a way to transform facial expressions to some code and then apply this code to any other face or any other creature and so on.
Yeah.
That's the idea. Okay, several questions. And the first one is, I couldn't catch the Shrek head render process. All that shading coming from Nuke's scanline render or what?
What again?
Jitter?
Yeah, I tried to understand the question again. Could you repeat it?
Yeah, the idea was shading for Shrek created in Nuke only, like just
No, the texture.
directly
You
from
mean the
scanline?
texture? Yeah, the or what? I can show it again. The
Yeah, just show it.
yeah, I will change the layout again. Not forget it. Yeah. So I can Shrek. Here we have done project. Autosave. I think no. So what we've got here, we have this texture. This is not my texture. I mean, I downloaded from the Sketchfab, as I remember. I mean, this is some free model from the internet. And then I use this texture in these pipes. Just what I've done here, we can see I stencil the eyes and extend the background around. And then I made some color correction here and the frame hold. And then I used the merge node.
Yeah, so basically all occlusions, like ambient occlusions and other stuff was already baked in texture.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah. Here I use only scanline render, but as you know, you can use not scanline render, but the ray render, yeah, and use all AOVs here. And of course, you can here change the lighting. For example, you can use relighting node or relight using our model. Just put the light on it and then multiply the result from the so yeah, you can manipulate with these kind of things inside of Nuke.
Okay, the next question. Having tiny black or colored markers on face of talent can help for capturing blade shapes with more precision.
Markers
I'll
on
try.
the face?
I'll try to answer this question probably. So yes, basically markers can help. Especially for tracking, and you then elaborate the questions, and it was questioned by Emre. So having because real-time face capture solutions still have precise issues, and they are not detailed when it comes to blend shapes, and it's exactly a case for face tracker here. Because face tracker gives you a predictable facial tracking that in most cases you can't take from real-time systems because you can't control them. They just like give you some set of blend shapes and coefficients, and that's it. You can't control it. But in face tracker, you can set up keyframes and control the tracking precisely. And that's the idea why this pipeline is more precise, more controllable than pipeline via, for example, live link face or something like this. And it's a bit more complex, and it's not real time, but at the same time, it gives you a full control over the result. And one more question from our Discord channel. And any plan to add support for FBX blend shapes? This is such a great addition. And yep. Currently we have blend shapes Currently, you have to load all the blend shapes separately, and then combine them. But actually, FBX can carry blend shapes with the base mesh, and that's basically the way how we're gonna implement tracking later. So yeah, so basically you can read in future we're going to introduce this feature as well, and probably in one of the next releases, like probably even definitely not the next one, which is really close, but the probably first release next year or something. There are some aspects which can affect this decision. So yeah, and probably no more questions up to the moment. So Lars,
I think I'm gonna use this. I'm gonna try to use this on my next short film, which will be full CG with 2 fantasy characters, a dog, and myself as my 12-year-old self. So I got actually already took some photos and took the face builder, some photos of mine when I was 12, the face builder, to like kind of try to rebuild my younger face. And yeah, so with the facts node and of course some custom geometry and maybe some custom made blend shapes or facts blend shapes. I think I'll try that workflow and see if I can get it to work. I mean, that's of course it's gonna be used in so many different areas, not only in face tracking. I mean, you're also the blend shapes and everything, but it's really cool. And what I also have to say, every time I look at your videos that your new releases, it really blows my mind that with every release you kind of, when you think there's no more stuff that these guys or that you guys could do, there's always something that you come up with, something cool. And trust me, the people in the industry really appreciate it. And yeah, I mean, hats off to you guys. It's really, really awesome. And again, it's an honor that I, could be here with you and that you, yeah.
But honestly, it's
thank you.
All these ideas in most cases are not from ours. We just hear our users and try to implement everything that actually in your mind, not ours. So yeah, please write us such stuff. But we have several more questions. Well, one more question from Emre. I mean, are all the head turns data can be captured? I mean, if you turn your head to left, is it a blend shape or can be converted to an axis or something?
So the head and the neck.
Yeah,
that's something. Sorry.
I mean, when we track the head, we track the position of the head, and but also we capture the expressions. This is completely different type of exports. This information. I mean, you can use the blend shapes and the facts node and the mixed blend shape node to export the expressions, but that's of course not the turning, the head turning. That's the information about smiling, about eyebrows, about some small changes on the face. And to export the movement of the head, you can use the you can use the export. Like I can show it. I can show it here. One moment.
I think what
this layout. Yep.
No, it was not loud. I'm just talking. I mean, that's not about showing the nuke. That's why I didn't change it. I
think what this question, sorry.
You
I
think?
think what this question was about is the movement from the neck relative to the face. You know, I remember I had a similar problem a few months ago when I did a tutorial for my channel where I made a zombie out of my face, and then when I did the track, I was actually also like turning my head a little bit, and I noticed that with the face tracker, so basically this, you know, this angle couldn't be represented. You know, it was either the face is going straight and then, you know, the neck is also straight, or yeah, or the other way around. So the neck is aligned and then the face is off. So.
Yeah, I think that probably most likely the question was about
the neck.
motion information is blend shape or not. And it's definitely not a blend shape. It's just axis. So the position is just like 6 numbers, like 3 for translations, 3 for rotations. But speaking about neck, yeah, it's a bit more sophisticated thing, and it's not that easy to get it. So the problem is that currently face tracker tracks head and head's movement. So and currently pivot point here in the base of the head. But let's say, what if we add neck? So if we have a neck, then in that cases, you can, so basically the question is, where is the pivot point? So should it be here in shoulders or in the base of the neck? And basically we have a neck, but currently in the current release, we don't have blend shapes for neck. And there is no like neck movement in the model, in the deformation model.
Yeah.
And that's basically the thing which is coming in the next release. Awesome. And yeah, and it's going to be really close. So we will bring longer neck with part of the shoulders and neck deformation in face tracking and everything in Face Builder as well. So, and the thing is that pivot point currently we have still in the base of the head, even with a longer neck. And probably we can change it a little bit later. We didn't yet decide it, but still it's one of the open questions, where should it be located? Because for some, like, it depends on the task. Because like Amber writing us, if you want to add some props to tracked face, like glasses or something, then pivot point should be in a head, definitely. But if we have, for example, if we want like some rotation for adding it to full body or something, then probably a pivot point should be in a base of a neck, in shoulders. So it all depends on task, and we still haven't yet decided how to introduce these kind of movements, but it will work. Several more questions here. If we have rotation and position data of mesh, we can link it to another object like head, right? Right, exactly. That's basically, you probably can show it. We already showed it in our live streams in about face tracker, how to add props and 3D objects to track geometry. And one more question: shall we deduce that we can expect an updated version from KeenTools in near future, where there is a control for neck? Oh yes. Yes.
Oh, yes.
You can deduce. Exactly. And
I have a question.
Yeah. Go ahead.
So do you think, Roman, it will be possible in the future, or maybe it is already possible, but to have like a witness camera? So basically you have one main plate for your head that you want to track. Then you have like a witness camera. And let's say you have, you know, some points on the face to so that you can connect the two plates, and so basically to try to make the whole face tracking even more precise. You think that will be possible in the future?
Yes, we are working on this.
Awesome.
And several things want to mention here. First of all, I don't like the idea of like points on a head or something that you have to match, like you usually do it in like, let's say 3D equalizer or something, where you have to find the same points and track them, triangulate, and say that this point, it's basically this point on a witness camera and so on. And I find this workflow a bit weird because it's really tedious to connect all these points. And we already showcased this kind of workflow when we were talking about deformable tracking with Victor Perez probably a year ago, also in live streams. But it was a kind of a prototype. So now we're working on it in more productive way. We have already find a correct way how it could be implemented in Nuke. It's not that easy to implement multi-view pipeline in Nuke because it's not, I can't say it's not suitable, but it's a bit tricky because
I can imagine.
Because of some issues with Nuke's pipeline. But at the same time, we've already built a prototype on this new technology stack, and at some point it will be definitely introduced. Yeah, we are working on it. And the general workflow will be like you have not just one geo track or face track or something, but you have 2 of them or 3 of them, and separate mesh on every of them, and you can just drag and drop pins like you do it in single view face or geo tracker, and it's much more convenient way to, it's like a multi-view tracker how it should be done, I'd say.
It would be really amazing to see this working with, like, let's say a custom, like a custom geometry of somebody's whole body, you know, and then with your implementation of the rigged tracking, and then, you know, having multiple cameras. So
yeah, it was actually created specifically for these tasks, because when we first tried to track full body using just one camera, we understood that it's a complete nightmare because of the Z problem. Like Z problem is that you actually can't find correct distance based on geometry, because for instance you have a like geometry of my hand, and it's very easy to see its movement, like 5 centimeters left or 5 centimeters in y direction. But if I move it along camera axis, Z axis, it just slight change in
scale,
in scale, and it basically leads to some Z jittering and tracking and so on. And that's why it's even hard to set up keyframes correctly if you have just one camera. So you actually need to use information from several cameras. Okay, we have one more question from Amra. In this pipeline of face tracker, only one video source without any track point could be enough to capture and create more advanced blend shapes like Wrinkle map in future. I don't know. First of all, wrinkle map can't be presented as blend shapes. Wrinkles, it's like they have some, like it's an object of different nature, and it can't be expressed as blend shapes. So I'd say that most likely, if at some point we show something like this, it won't be blend shapes based approach. Definitely something different. But at the same time, we are investigating some approaches for tracking wrinkles and some local movements of skin as well. But no more details at that point.
Lars, you had a question?
Yeah, it's more of a feature request. So it would be really cool if in some version, a future version of the geo tracker, it would be possible talking about that jitter problem, you know, because sometimes you just get it. I mean, I've always gotten usable results out of geo tracker in the end, but sometimes it can get really, you know, difficult and you have to just spend more time. So the feature that I would love to see is that, you know, I know for every track I need to do, I have to let the geo tracker calculate the motion vector, right? But sometimes I'd love to say, okay, you know, these are my, let's say like 3 or 4 or like 6 keyframes that I set, and geo tracker, please just interpolate between these keyframes and don't use the motion vector, because sometimes, or I don't know if it's the actual motion vector that is producing the jittering or what have you. And I know that you have the smoothing feature, and maybe you guys are going to tell me that the smoothing feature does exactly that. And if I pull it all the way to 1, it is just basically an interpolation between the keyframes. And if it's not, that would be really cool to have in the future.
Yeah, well, exactly. We have the interpolation between keyframes if you don't have tracking between them. I mean, we have the button to delete. I can show one moment. Just change the layout. And yeah, for example, here on the fox head, where we track it, here, do you see the screen?
Yeah.
Yeah, so this is the geo tracker and this is geometry. And for example, we track it, and after this keyframe, we probably have a bad situation and couldn't track forward. So what we can do, we can add the keyframe here, and then add the keyframe in the end. I mean, not in the end, but in the end of the bad movement. For example, here we make the keyframe again, and I can show you the not the keyframes, but the tracking information. Just clicking the results tab, and here we see all these blue dots. So you can put the cursor between the keyframes, these two, and click.
Probably you can open also curve editor to see.
Yeah, of course I can. Yeah, well, this is the curve editor. This is the curves, and then when I place my cursor between 2 keyframes, I can delete the tracking between them by this button. They delete tracking between keyframes, and now, as you can see, this is interpolation. So basically, this is exactly what you said. I mean, if you couldn't track this, you can interpolate, and for example, you can just select all the pins and move them together, or you can use unpin button and then pin again. When you touch these pins, you activate them, so you can reposition this. For example, now we have the interpolation between 3 keyframes, like first, second, and third.
Yeah, thank you for showing me that.
Yeah, so
that'll help in the future, most definitely.
So that's kind of workarounds in the difficult cases.
Sometimes it's always tricky that it's our UX problem here, because it's a small button. It makes exactly what you need, but sometimes it's just not that easy to find this small button. But at the same time, we can't write like a whole sentence for every button, only in documentation, but nobody reads documentation, definitely. Okay,
Yeah.
so do we have more questions? Probably no more questions in YouTube up for the moment. And Lars, do we have more questions or feature requests or something? We are
Yeah, not at the moment. I really amazed
if
by.
If at some point we have a witness camera pipeline, can I share some preview build with you to just
Yeah, most definitely.
Feedback? Amazing.
Definitely,
So
yeah. I'd be honored.
It will help us a lot because, well, we've introduced very special pipeline, to be honest. And great. I'm really happy and proud that you was here with us today, Lars. I want to thank you and really appreciate all your support to KeenTools all these years.
Thank you, Roman. The pleasure is all mine. Always happy to talk to you and to see what you guys are doing and have my expectations be, how do you say that? Yeah, the tool just being better than I expected, basically. It's really, really awesome what you guys do. And yeah, please keep doing it.
Thank you for joining us. And also all our viewers, subscribe our channel, and don't forget to download these tools. They are already in the previous build. You can download it from our website.
Yeah, and I also want to appreciate all our viewers and their questions because they were awesome. We don't have lots of viewers today, but at the same time, we have like probably more questions than regular is. Thank you a lot, especially Emre, Mohit, and thank you for your questions. They were really interesting. And don't hesitate to write us any moment with all your ideas, problems, and so on. We are always open to all kind of discussions. And of course, thank you, Peter, for showcasing everything today. Great. Then thank you, and see you next time. Bye, everybody.
Cheers. Thank you, guys.
Bye.
Cheers.
Bye.